Action is pouring in from across the political spectrum, condemning the violence. President Trump has ordered all U.S. flags to be lowered to half-staff until Sunday. And he also posted on Truth Social, saying in part, quote, "The great, even legendary Charlie Kirk is dead. He was loved and admired by all, especially me. And now he is no longer with us." Trump also offered his sympathies to Kirk's wife, Erica, and his family. And Governor Gavin Newsom said this on X: "The attack on Charlie Kirk is disgusting, vile, and reprehensible. In the United States of America, we must reject political violence in every form." So Charlie Kirk and his conservative group, Turning Point USA, appeared at San Francisco State University just this past May. It was part of a tour of college campuses around the country. He hosts a Prove Me Wrong table, inviting people in the audience with opposite views to debate him. And it drew in hundreds of people, including protesters. Kirk also hosted a similar event at UC Berkeley in 2023. It was hosted indoors, but there were protesters outside. Now, the governor of Utah is calling the shooting a political assassination, and it comes after a string of attacks against political figures over the past several years. Kenny Choi spoke to a leading researcher on gun violence and has more on this troubling political climate across the country.
From the assassination attempts of President Trump during the 2024 campaign to June of this year, when 2 Minnesota lawmakers were shot and killed, high-profile incidents of political violence in the country have become prevalent.
The incidents are an outcome, if you will, of an increased level of polarization in the United States, of pro-violence rhetoric on the part of elected officials.
Dr. Garen Wintemute is director of the UC Davis Violence Prevention Research Program.
The vast majority of Americans wholly reject political violence as a way of resolving our disputes.
Wintemute and researchers have studied data and conducted national surveys on political violence since 2022. In those annual surveys, about 30% of adults believe that physical violence is usually or always justified to advance at least one political purpose.
That kind of thinking out in the public can create a climate of acceptance for violence that makes it easier for violence to happen.
San Mateo Board of Supervisor and former Congresswoman Jackie Speer, who was shot 5 times during the 1978 Jonestown tragedy, spoke about the shooting death of conservative activist Charlie Kirk.
He was a young man with a point of view that had a lot of followers, and now he's been silenced. And it's more than a tragedy. It is a violation of all the principles that this country is based on.
Dr. Wintemute cautions against this type of violence becoming commonplace.
We have got to reverse that climate of acceptance. We simply have to create a climate in the United States, a culture in the United States that rejects violence.
According to the UC Davis Violence Prevention Research Program, firearm violence results in approximately 30,000 deaths a year and approximately 75,000 non-fatal injuries seen in hospital emergency departments. Stay with us for updates on this rapidly developing story all night, on air and streaming on the CBS News app.